Welcome to Toffee TV. It is my three things from Everton 1, Manchester City 3 at Goodison Park tonight. The Blues beaten at home. And a tale of two halves, really. I think Everton game plan worked really well in the first half. They were winning 1-0. Manchester City couldn't argue they weren't the better team all night because they were, but Everton's game plan was very evident in the first half and worked with good effect. We lost the game plan in the second half and we had no grip on the game whatsoever, and their world-class players popped the ball about and got them 3 valuable points. They needed that win. It's been a while since they won a game in the Premier League, and Everton have given them that platform to go on now, and we'll see whether they can get themselves back fully into that title race. But from our perspective, 2 defeats on the run now in the league, and it means sadly that if Luton win their game in hand, we will be back in the bottom 3. So got to start picking up our home form, and that is where I'm going to start, because we'll play Wolves at the weekend, and then that's us halfway through the season, and we've only won 3 times at Goodison Park, and that is an issue. It's something that we've got to correct in the second half of the season, and it'll be difficult. We've still got Liverpool, Tottenham to come at Goodison, Aston Villa, of course, as well. Next one in the Premier League. So we've still got teams who are doing really well in that top 6. I've got to come to Goodison, and we've got to start turning our performance as a home into 3 points, because that is ultimately what will keep us away from any danger. Let's hope we get some points back from the points deduction. I think a lot of people are just ignoring that points deduction now and saying, well, it is what it is. We've got 16 points and we've got to try to build that up. And listen, I think Luton have had a tremendous week and got back-to-back victories. I don't think that's going to happen too many times this season. I think Sheffield United and Burnley look like they're gone to me, or they're in serious trouble. So Everton are in a group at the moment playing against the likes of Luton, Forest, Palace, Brentford, to see who stays up. And it's really frustrating because I've said before on this, without that points deduction, we would be looking at European places. I'm not saying we'd get there, but we'd certainly be in that fighting pack. And that really is how we should approach every game anyway, because we have won 8 games. We should be fighting for the European spot at this moment on a points level. And that's what we have to remember. But the cold hard facts are, we haven't. We've got 16 points, so we have to start winning games. This was always going to be 2 difficult fixtures. I guess in the cold light of day, we should have got something at Spurs at the weekend. And could we have done more tonight in that second half to stop us capitulating, really? Because that's what we did. We were winning 1-0 into 6 or 7, 8 minutes into the second half. We're still 1-0 up. And we allow Phil Foden to get a free shot in, and that cannot be the case. Now, your manager might turn around and say, well, we're happy for people to shoot from 25 yards. It's up to the goalkeeper then. But let's get out and get blocks in. And we didn't. And once they got the equaliser, the momentum fully, shifted to them. We know how good they are. So it is something we have got to correct at Goodison. You can look back and we can rue games against Wolves and Fulham and Luton. We've all come and won at Goodison and shouldn't have done. So we have to make sure that when we're playing teams around us and teams at the bottom, that we turn Goodison into a real difficult place. And I think for us at the moment, we've got to just get a couple of big results. We need the atmosphere. The atmosphere was poor tonight. It was great when we scored. Dead noisy. It was brilliant, but it wasn't sustained. And we have to somehow find a way to pick that atmosphere up. It's difficult, and I get it. It's difficult. A lot of home teams struggle with their atmosphere. We've seen the Gurner from across the park having a go at them for their atmosphere, and you see it at other clubs. United historically is a silent place. City themselves, it's quiet. Its home crowds are just generally quiet, but for us, we probably need that atmosphere right now. But our home form has got to improve, that's for sure, because at the minute, 3 home wins in the first half of the season isn't good enough. It's really, really not good enough. So something that needs addressing, because in contrast, our away form is very good. So we do have to strike that balance. Second thing I want to talk about is what the manager does in the absence of Abdoulaye Doucouré, because it is a gaping hole in our team. We've seen Andre Gomez come on at the weekend and do really well against Spurs. He was far, far less effective tonight. We needed him tonight, his quality of getting on the ball. He worked hard, no problem with him. He worked really hard, but he just couldn't get anything in that game. Couldn't get any kind of foothold in the game whatsoever. And it is a problem. We saw this last season when the manager lost Decore for 3 games through suspension. We just couldn't fill the gap. And I don't know what he does now going to Wolves. I'd love it, as Kevin Keegan once said, if Decore was back for that. But I know that the medical staff are taking it day by day. But the first prognosis was around a month for the injury. And I know it's improved since then, so there is still an outside chance for Wolves, but are they going to risk it? And if not, what do you do? Do you play Danjuma there? He's not really pulled up any trees, as he should have scored at least once on Saturday and didn't. Come on tonight and didn't really affect it at all. Do you try Danjuma wide and play Jack Harrison? We don't know if Idris is going to be back at the weekend. So I think when Everton have got the full 11, I think they are a match for a lot of teams. But we do have a problem off the striker. I thought tonight was a good opportunity for Sean Dyche to go with the 2 strikers at 2-1 and just go for it a little bit, and he didn't. So I don't think he would do that away from home. He did go to 3 at the back. That might be a way of combating certain things at the moment, the way we've got the injury. So maybe he'll start with 3 at Wolves, I don't know. But it's a problem at the minute because we can't fill that space. We haven't got anybody. And that is what's frustrating with that, is that should be Danjuma's opportunity, and he just doesn't ever seem to grab it. So we'll have to wait and see. It is a big problem. It was a problem last year, and it's a problem this year, and we have to solve it. And he's going to have to solve it by getting another Decore type into the squad. And, you know, we've seen Kevin Thelwell talking today. So I'll talk about that in my 3rd point, which is the squad. Kevin Thelwell has addressed Evertonians and said that this window will be a quiet one. Don't think it's what any of us wanted to hear, although I think most of us were probably expecting it. But Everton do have to work hard, and they do have to try and come up with something this window. I don't think we can allow the month to go by without strengthening. I really don't. I know it's difficult, but there are players out there, and our squad is painfully thin. It was great to see Seamus Coleman back on the bench tonight, but he's a right back. You know, we need attacking options as well. We're seeing Dwight McNeil and Jack Harrison running on fumes at times because they need, you know, we need someone who can go and replace them at times. But in the middle of the park, with no creativity, I've just been talking about Abdoulaye Decore then. Without him, and his goals are massive, we don't have anyone who can play that role. No one can play it anywhere near what Decore does because of his goals. So therefore, you're looking for something else in that position. So we should be looking for someone who's creative in that, or someone who gets shots away. And we don't. We're shoehorning central midfielders into there. Andre Gomez isn't a split striker. James Garner isn't a split striker. Jack Harrison isn't a split striker. Dwight McNeil's had to go in there. He's not that either. Danjuma, possibly, but he played there against Burnley and he was terrible in the cup tie at home in terms of getting on the ball. He just couldn't get himself into the game, and I think he's just more used to playing wide. So we don't have anybody who can do that. Is the people around who we can go and get on loan who can do that? I don't know, but it's not my job, is it? But I don't think we can bat this window off personally by saying finances won't let us. It's difficult because I think Everton, there is room. I mean, Kevin Thelwell did say it. If an opportunity comes up and it's too good to miss, we'll take it. Well, I think this squad needs a little bit of help. If you can get a player in, at least one on loan, 2 would be ideal, but 1 on loan, then you might help this squad to stay well clear of any kind of trouble and finish higher up, which is more money for meta places and things like that. And it gives everybody that freshness and that lift. So they will have to work cut out. I'm hoping it was Kevin Thelwell trying to just dampen down expectation. And I'm hoping that they are looking at Manchester United or clubs like that, or clubs in Europe who you might be able to get a player in who could come in and just give us that little lift, whether it be off the bench or whether you can alternate with the Corey or whatever. So somebody can maybe play wide at times as well, just to give it that little bit of freshness. So we'll have to wait and see, but I'm hoping that they do, because I think it is just, it's a little bit thin, this squad. I don't think the answers are necessarily in the building in terms of just that extra body that could really give us the lift. But listen, we might end up having to do that because there just isn't any budget or whatever, but we'll see. It's going to be an interesting month. The takeover should be concluded in the next couple of weeks as well. We'll see where that takes us. We should know about the independent commission, the appeal, and they should be looking at ways to give us all of our points back, if not at least half of them back, which would again help us in our position going forward. So it's going to be a very, very interesting month. Obviously, here on Toffee TV, we will be discussing the ins and outs of everything throughout the month. But listen, thank you very much for taking the time to watch tonight. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Hope you're all having a very good Christmas. Take it easy. See you later.